All right, it's still Wednesday, so we can call this one Reaction Wednesday. So for those of you watching right now, and for the replay gang especially, thank you for tuning in. So if you are a replay gang, shout it out in the comments. Hashtag it or say Replay Gang 100. But yes, this is Reaction Wednesday, and in some parts of the country, it is still Wednesday. So all right. So what's good, RPM? All right, Reaction Wednesday. K1 vow that I made about this particular broadcast is that no content creator that is within this space or adjacent to this space is safe from this. Not to say that this is going to be an insult fest or anything like that. Just saying that I'm just simply reacting to some content that I have seen going around the space, and let me put a couple of disclaimers out there. Number one, everyone is entitled to their opinion. Please keep that in mind. As I do these reactions to certain content, it is not personal, and feel free to do reactions on my content if you find anything at all interesting enough to do a reaction to. I'm not above the criticisms that I'm about to dish out to other people, but believe me, no one is. And unbelievable to some people is that everyone can be criticized by anyone. I mean, even the lowest street bum can criticize the president of the United States. I mean, this is the kind of environment we live in. I mean, but there is a thing called credibility, so I do understand that as well. So to say that content creators are particularly safe from these reactions is an understatement. And some of those content creators is content creators that I have never interacted with before or have interacted with to some degree or capacity. So since this is a first time show, I don't expect too many people to be watching it in real time. For those of you who've made the time to do that, I especially thank you. So I am leaving the broadcast up for everyone's viewing eyes forever and ever, unless I receive some type of flag for anything that I'm about to say. If YouTube says no, no, you can't keep it up, then that's just what it is. But as far as I'm concerned, I will keep the broadcast up. And shout out to you, my fellow content creators out there who continue to do their thing. I see you out there, and if you're lucky enough, you may get a reaction from me. So we start off small and we'll end up big. That's just how it is on this channel, on black men being brutally honest, and just that's pretty subjective to people. How can black men be brutally honest if we aren't brutally honest with ourselves? Uh, and unless you live in a delusional headspace, we are we are exactly that. And I'm gonna show you an example of a young man who believes that he's doing this just that, and explain why people like that in the long run do not count by any means. I'm not saying that you don't matter, because as a human being on God's green earth, you do matter. But at the end of the day, what you're preaching and complaining about is not something that is very effective for the productivity of black men. Those who seek to destroy aren't any good in my book. I'm a believer in strength in numbers. And when you do things to diminish our numbers, you put us at a disadvantage. And that little part right there, that little piece needs to be neutralized. But I mean, since we're in a virtual space, I don't believe it's all that serious. I'm here to have the conversation, to entertain, to inform, and to be informed. And that's all I've ever said to people. So, um, if you've accomplished that at some point, enough for me to say something, I'll react to that kind of material too. All of these won't be negative broadcasts. I would say technically my first reaction Wednesday was a couple weeks ago, when I did that I did that live stream, reacted to the case for legal separation of black men and black women for the Roger Report. So I really enjoyed doing that. Um, I think I will do that with other content creators that are, I would say, more so outside of the habitual line stepper space that we have, you know, created over here in our neck of the woods. So, um, okay, see a couple people in the chat for the first reaction Wednesday. Got RPM. What's going on? Long live my brother. He said, "What's good, Kel? Good to see you, big bro." Okay, it's good. Got Raven Knight here. Said LLTHLS. A little firefall for y'all on this winter night. Yeah, pretty cold out there. Yeah, so this I'm gonna react a little bit to Katt Williams. I wouldn't exactly call it a reaction. Just wanted to show y'all the roast of Wanda, which he explained on Willie D. Everybody's reacted to the interview that he had with Willie D. And Willie D on Willie D's channel, which some of us have had our past issues with the kind of things that Willie D said, but he's definitely a part of that neck of the woods. I mean, maybe not in the more egregious ways like, Katt Williams, quote unquote, exposed, which was stuff that we had been talking about all the time. Anyway, I mean, we've been talking about that kind of thing since 2006, 2005. Even like I'll go back further than that. I used to hear about it when I back in the mid 90s about how these people would, this is okay. This is for edutainment purposes only. If you want to lean more toward the entertainment side, because I know how YouTube feels about conspiracy theories. Okay, so this is nothing that I can prove, but this is what the perception was, and is about these things is that, in order to become famous and successful, you have to do certain things. You have to, that are of a sexual nature, you know, uh, more so leaning toward the rainbow side of things. And if you, for any human being, if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to do that, then you shouldn't have to do that for any reason under any circumstances. Success is something that should come, clean and ethical, but you being able to retain as much of yourself as possible and only changing things that could be of a good improvement. I mean, to egregiously defile yourself, just for a few dollars, that's not a good thing. So what's good, King seeing red? So I was sent a clip by a sub on Sanford and Son, Demond Wilson, saying, basically saying how that lifestyle is in Hollywood and why he had to leave. So, fair use on that. So let me go on over there, kind of use that as a warm up, share this screen. Appreciate you guys tuning in right now. Saying is, we just do this first and then we'll get down to business because, much later, I want y'all to see this kind of thing and see what I'm talking about when people try to call themselves making their points about other content creators and such. Just want you to see it. And if you are on the side that agrees with it, that's fine. But if you don't agree with it, that's fine too. So listen to what Demond Wilson has to say. This is Sanford and Son. He played Lamont on Sanford and Son for many years ago, and just listen. Fair use. Okay.
Bruce? I said, oh, you know what? I'm gonna move out there because I'm getting a lot of offers, and I don't want to be doing this bi-coastal thing. So I moved to California, and I did Mission Impossible and a couple of TV spots, and then All in the Family. And then I got a phone call from Bud Yorkin, and he asked me to if I wanted to do a series with Red Fox. So I've never been a part of any of that nonsense. I don't respect those people. I don't care about that. I told you I had connections. Nobody
Fair
was gonna say
use.
nothing to me.
I get it. And it made me think when you just said kind of the comment about some of the people that we've known in the industry and what they might have to do to get to the top. Can you give me
All of them. All of them. You name your biggest black actors, you name your biggest white actors, you name your biggest female Latino actresses, they all have to do. I said,
Mm. All right. What y'all think about what Lamont had to say? Think about your favorite actor or actress or something, somebody you've respected throughout the years, and they did that. They gave up a part of themselves that we would ourselves would consider was funny, or we would make fun of that person for that. And the person that does that will sit up there and act like they had no choice, or this was my way to fame, fortune, and success, and try to put up this little thing like anybody would do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, and that's why a lot of people, especially like in spaces such as this, are skeptic and afraid of having any of this stuff go mainstream, like any of these I would quote say black manosphere talking points, or anyone to cross over into that realm, because you don't know what's going to happen if they decide to offer you some money, but you have to do a little something in order to get that money. You don't. I'm gonna tell you right now. I can only speak for me. I can't speak for the rest of you guys. Is that that's something that I will find every other way to do except that. You know what I'm saying? If I have to work a little harder, to earn an extra buck, I will. Just do it the right way, because isn't that something that everyone wants to do? And we're entertained by all of these people who are you know being accused of these things. And a lot of people aren't necessarily comfortable with it, because it's putting people that you've laughed at and cried with on blast. And I wouldn't say that you should feel that way about any of them. Actually, that's something that people say, as far as don't put celebrities in a position um that makes them leaders. I mean, you don't just be entertained by them, take them with a grain of salt, just like the art, don't like the person. I mean, but you can only go so far with stuff like that, for real, for real. You know, what do you think about the people who actually buy into that behavior, who are not, so much into victimhood framing? It'll shatter your reality. And that's what I believe a lot of people defend. So, my reaction to hearing something like this is not surprising. I don't think that any of us out there really want to know the entire truth. Is not something I think that many of us are ready for, because if you would hear some of these truths, you would have to give up on many of your favorite things. And a lot of people act like they don't want that. So personally, whatever decision you make on that, people who even like you hear all these things about Will Smith, and even what Katt Williams said about Chris Tucker. One of those things were true. How would you look at those people? Even if you don't like those people, because some of those people he mentioned are from yesteryear. Thinking about who's your favorites today and what they call themselves having to do. How much credibility does a man like Damon Wilson, who've worked with Red Fox? We all know Red Fox, famous, one of the most famous comedians in the history of television, with a hit sitcom, Sanford and Son. So, how credible do you think this man is when he says this? You got him saying it. You got Katt Williams saying it. You got everyone else throwing little hints. So, imagine that your favorite person in the world? Would you care? Would you want to know? Would you want to keep that part of reality away just so you continue to like that person? Think about it. Think about it. Everybody likes Smokey from Friday. What did you actually think about that Epstein Island comment that Katt Williams made? Do you think that was just hating? What if it was actually true? Nobody's calling that man a liar. How many stories have you heard like this from celebrities, especially the ones who got blacklisted? Is it really just some hate and stuff? See, I tried to get out of that kind of thinking because, like, well, back in the day, I was really heavy on it. Like, I would say around 2010, 2011, I was watching all the YouTube videos about these little conspiracy theories and, what black people had to do once they got their hands on a certain amount of money in order to maintain it, like, fame, fortune. And because I seen so much hating amongst black folks, like I thought that I was getting sucked into that and just believing anything. So I wasn't so quick to believe it anymore. And now you're having this stuff resurface back in 2023, stuff that I was hearing back in 2005, 2010. Some of this stuff as far back as 1995. Weird stuff. So, all right, let's see who's in the building, and then I will react to something else. We got Andre 416 Reform. Was good. Detroit 313. What's going on? Got the Roger Report live here on the inaugural Reaction Wednesday, which, if you're watching in real time, if you live on the eastern side of things, it's now Thursday. But if you're in the central time zone, it's still Wednesday. So thumbs up on that. Yeah, we gonna get to some shit in just a moment. In fact, we've already gotten to some shit. That's some earth-shattering, dream-killing shit. You hear stuff like this every day, and you wonder how deep the rabbit hole goes. Especially when you hear stuff about people like R. Kelly or all the stuff about Michael Jackson, which I'm more so defend Michael because it's proven that people have lied on him, but R. Kelly's can be proven. But it's like you just keep hearing it about this person and that person and this person and that person, and so Detroit 313 said earthquake responded. I mean, he did. Katt Williams did say some good stuff about earthquake, but okay, here's the next thing, and then we're gonna get to the feature content creator. Okay, Katt Williams, I would say pretty much cleared up what happened that day he roasted Wanda, on V103, which I say was hilarious. So we're gonna relive that moment so you guys can actually see what was said and what he cleared up what led to it, because they talked previously. She was trying to get him to come over there. It wasn't something that was planned. So he came over there to promote his appearance at the comedy club. I think it was a comedy club in Norcross, Georgia. I'm not they'll say the names of this stuff in this, but yeah, it went from a slight promo to him flaming her up pretty good. So Katt claims on Willie D's podcast, which you can go check out as soon as you're done watching me, of course, is that it was an ambush. It was certain questions that she wasn't supposed to ask, and she ambushed him with them anyway. So since she didn't do what she agreed to, he decided to take some liberties. So and one thing that I would say is I would never try to roast against a comedian. I'm not even a good roast guy on the regular. You know what I'm saying? I can be one to admit to my weaknesses, but Katt Williams is on another level with that shit. So I'm gonna let y'all watch it. I'll chime in every now and again. Fair use. I mean, this is what we're here to do. We're here to react. Detroit 313 said Willie D channel. Yeah, I know we've had a couple of issues with them, in the past or whatever, but I would say the Club Shay Shay interview is the groundbreaking one. But watch that one for reference material too. He said Katt Williams says quite a few things on there too. So let's go ahead and put this roast up. All right. So you see this woman right here. Said Frank and Wanda in the morning. So I think we're about at the part where the roast starts. Say we'll start at the 12-minute mark. Hold on 1 second. Let me do something real quick. Okay. Now let me share the screen. RPM says, I don't think Katt liked the questions Willie was asking him. Yeah, I heard it was some of the questions were off. But hey, man, you're a public figure. You got to prepare for shit like that. People want to know, I get it. So, all right. Play this little roast right here. So just sit back and listen and start where you want. All right.
Your daughter gonna be saying, I got a PP, father. father. That's
Boy,
right,
you are
Race.
crazy. Do you use profanity around your kids?
Not around them, but they hear me on stage
I
and it
know.
messes with them.
I'm a cusser.
What about you, Katt? Your kids when they were little?
Oh no, I didn't cuss around them. They never seen me. They still I got 3 daughters that still have not seen me smoke a cigarette or anything.
Have they seen your stand-up? Like some people bring their kids to the show. Have they ever been to your show?
Oh yeah. I'm a single father, so
I know.
I'm saying my children have always been in the business, and actually the only thing I've actually been proud of publicly, because I have 19 felonies, so I couldn't be that proud publicly. But the only thing I'm publicly proud of is that there aren't any pictures of my children available on the internet in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
All right.
So to be able to protect a squad of Black children's privacy for 19 years.
Yeah, isn't it a shame that people have to do that? They have to protect their kids' anonymity because there's so many crazy folks out there that, want to try them because of the fame of the person that they are associated with. People are really sad. So let's continue.
It's been a blessing.
That's dope.
You cook? Do you cook for your kids?
Absolutely.
Tell me some of the things you cook that they're proud of. Like, Dad made some. You got the best spaghetti. You got the best steak. What do you have? Tell us what you cook.
As a father of 7 with an unlimited food budget, you can make whatever is necessary.
I
with
said
7,
what they like.
Excuse me. I'm
I
still
said, what do they
answering.
like?
Just because you're a poor interviewer doesn't mean.
I said.
Yeah, I mean, I would say poor interviewer in the sense of already starting to over talking and not letting the man explain. I hate that shit. Especially like with panels. Also, you try to get a point across and then people start to over talk, and people face that shit in real life too. I'm just letting you guys know that shit's kind of gets on people's fucking nerves, and just listen and hear a person out before you start with the stupid shit. And obviously Wanda did not, you know what I'm saying, care about that at a particular time because she's trying to poke her chest out and do the Sophia from The Color Purple routine. So
You answer the question and just tell me.
Man, you're a strong Black woman. Is it okay for me to answer?
Come on.
You keep interrupting the answer. Everyone can hear it. It sounds like you like me a little bit. It's starting to bleed over the airwaves.
It is.
Oh, really?
I want to let
Come
everybody
on.
know that Wanda got some lipstick on right now with enough glitter for the 4th of July. 2020.
That's right. Kissable lips.
yeah, that was the warning shot.
So what do you cook, Katt?
All right. So the thing is, with 7, you become a good cook just because you got too many different opinions. Like 4 of these is daughters. So I got a daughter that only eats vegetables. And then I got a daughter that only eat meat. And I got a daughter that doesn't do dairy.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know how fatherly that is to have to retain all that knowledge about all of your children's eating habits. You know, kudos to Katt, you know, in Black Fatherhood, by the way.
So you're cooking for whoever is 4 out of 5, right?
Yeah.
And then you're making the adjustments from there. So you might make lasagna, but you understand that only 4 or 5 people out of 8 are going lasagna. So then you have to do a vegetarian lasagna just so that you can cut the difference. And then because these are Negro children, you make chicken wings and make 1 dozen of those. So you got a regular lasagna, a vegetarian lasagna, and 12 wings. And then you fill it out with salad and bread. And then adult here gets that glass of Port Reserve from Chateau Alon.
Chateau Alon,
and the
baby.
young children get that sweet tea from Publix. And there's a meal with a budget of about $64 that'll feed 7 people.
All right.
I love it.
The hood education from Katt Williams.
Okay.
All right. Red Grant.
How many kids you got? 1?
I have 3 boys.
Excellent.
Yes, I do.
Aren't boys simple? Aren't boys simple?
It can be.
Yeah, boys are simple, and you know, men are hard. There's not a whole lot that you have to do to please men, you know, and sometimes women don't understand that. So let's get back to it.
Whatever. I cook. I do it all.
I didn't say that you
Well,
didn't.
that's right. I did it in the beginning and the middle and the end.
What's your favorite thing to cook? Your boys say, yeah.
They like for me to. I do a really nice broccoli. They like my broccoli and they love my baked chicken.
Hey,
And they
right now,
love-
look up your phone and see what it takes to make broccoli, and tell me does it say heat up water?
Now, see, because of the fact that she was trying to compete, you know, she made herself kind of look stupid after all the stuff that she said. I mean, after all the stuff that Katt said, and then she turns around and says broccoli. You know, as a cook myself, I can tell you that anybody that can boil water can cook broccoli. So, I mean, not that that's much of a big deal, but you know, she will continue to egg this, and then Katt will do like any comedian does. He'll make it funny. So.
That's the only step in broccoli. Heat up water.
Whatever.
Have you ever heard of burned broccoli? Can you
whatever,
burn
hater.
broccoli? You can't burn it because it's made in a pot of water.
You don't know nothing about.
You know what her second meal they love from her? What I do with corn.
Whatever.
I like to tear it out that can and I put it in there. And then I get a can of water and I put it on there. And then I get some Zatarain's. They don't expect that. I sprinkle
I
Zatarain's on
am
my
a great
corn.
cook.
Whatever. Yes, ma'am. You good at heating stuff up.
You're good at telling us about what's going on in jail.
Yes, ma'am. And getting out to tell you.
Yeah, and this is where she fucked up. Now, supposedly, according to Katt's story that he told Willie D, those kind of remarks were off limits. And, you know, Mitches always try to win anyway. So this is what Katt is about to demonstrate is how you verbally decimate a motherfucker. Because, you know, and she had it coming, period. So. I mean, it's okay to use words. It's not an arm wrestling contest. You know, it's not a boxing match. It's words. Words make everyone equal. So, I mean, I don't care how you feel about that. So.
But I'm going to tell you at an arena named Phillips, and you going to tell me at the Atlanta Comedy Theater.
That's right. True.
Tomorrow, be there.
All right.
Red Grant show. I know I'll be there. Don't miss it.
Red Grant, Katt Williams, thank y'all for coming through, man.
Yes.
And thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming in.
I see why people come to Wanda's show.
Yeah.
Because Frank Ski puts it down.
That's right. Get on out here with your crazy ass.
Is he crazy?
And help me get to the salon. All right, it's the people section viewer 3. Your hair is kind of.
All right, here we go.
My hair is 19 inches long, and I have.
Why does she go for the hair as much as these females sit up there and talk about men talking about their hair and everything? That's where y'all want to go. So this is why y'all get half the shit said that get said because you try a motherfucker. And then you try to retreat to your vagina. These are words. That's all it is.
Crazy. And help me get to the salon. All right, it's the People Station Viewer 3. Your hair is kind of...
That joint was.
My hair is 19 inches long and I have no perm.
You don't?
Oops.
Oh, that's not a perm.
No, it is not. Nice lady.
That's natural.
Come run one of your gnarled fingers.
There you go.
While you on air.
Gnarled fingers.
They can hear you live.
Come on. Let me come over here.
No. That's not how that works.
Oh, okay. Well, then stay over there.
Don't worry. Ain't nobody putting their hands through yours.
That's right. They don't have to. I don't want them to. Get on out of here. You okay? You okay?
Only one of our hands moving while we talk.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Red Grant, Atlanta Comedy.
Tell Wanda to take off them headphones and that wig.
And make sure
that wig and that headphones come together.
Old ass clothes you got on. How about that? Yeah, there.
I'm gonna say the headphones and the wig come together. Like how fucked up.
They're old.
Versace, yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
She said,
Versace.
I want to apologize to the people at Versace Collection. This is your 2019 summer line that hasn't come out.
But you had to open it up and show us it was Versace. I wanted to.
No, I didn't have to open it up. These people are on radio. They can't see anything.
Yeah, but you opened it up so we could see it.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, happy
whatever stories for the Black Lane Bryant.
That's right. Very proud.
Okay, let's play some music real quick if we can. We going to a break real quick?
Very
all right,
proud.
cool. We go to a break.
Shout outs to Forever 21.
Yeah.
Necklace Collection.
That's right. Shout out.
They don't remember me from wilding out, right? I'm not the right one to Jones on.
Get this inmate out of here.
If you can't get your blood pressure down, you can't call me down. If your cholesterol is 600.
Whatever, little mama.
I'm little mama's baby daddy.
No, you little mama.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey,
and what are you, girl? You probably shouldn't talk about sizes.
No, that's okay.
You big on the radio.
That's right. And you're big
Turn
in
it down.
prison. And you're big in prison.
I've never been to prison.
You have
19 felonies,
times.
no convictions.
Yeah.
Knock it off. Prison and jail aren't the same. No.
Okay.
No.
Calm
No.
down.
Only one of us has $12 worth of jewelry on. No.
No,
That all is available. If you want to have Wanda's jewelry, please go to Citgo or Quick Trip at any point. If you buy 2 packs of Newport 100s, they will give you everything Wanda has on right now for $7.99, and it comes with a free car wash. Won't you come on down?
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.
The show starts at 9. Wanda gets to the stage at 9:17. Please come on down.
Go, Shay, please come get Miss Katt and do her hair.
She's almost out of breath. Be careful now. Even on the radio, you can hear the fact that exercise has crept into her vocabulary.
Hurry up, little mama. We're done.
You already used that one. Don't repeat your jokes, Fresh Comic.
Go ahead. We'll go to
Get
break.
your ass out of here.
Wow. That was exhilarating right there. I mean, she kept going, but the lesson to be learned is you can't win everything. That's a comedian right there. That's Katt Williams. Is not like I watched some Wild and Out stuff before this live stream, and I'll tell you, Katt was serious. Like he was throwing out haymakers like Mike Tyson in his prime. Like it was barely anything you can do to roast against Katt Williams. I mean, I would say, again, that he's one of the best roasters, and she tried him, and she found out. She even lost. I believe she even lost her job behind that because her husband, who was a failed R&B singer, pulled a gun on Katt at the club that he was going to, that he was promoting. I mean, just people always try to look for trouble in the real ones. But that should be a lesson to folks, man. Don't be fucking with comedians like that. So let me see. The man said he dead at her. See how she trying to make him shut up and be quiet. You lost Wanda. Yeah, she lost, and she couldn't accept it. Yeah. Ole Morris, yeah. Yeah, the man named his CD grown ass man. Like Cedric the Entertainer. Ironically, the whole thing with him and Katt Williams. But okay, let's get to the part. And then let's get to the part that, like I said, no content creator is safe. This is not to swipe or criticize at anyone. I'm just gonna tell y'all just like this. And yeah, like I said, shout out to Katt Williams and V103 and Wanda, wherever she is. I mean, still probably sitting on the ice pack from that ass whooping she took from Katt Williams. But yeah, when you listen to a lot of content creators and they may have a difference of opinion or they may have a certain way that they feel about certain other individuals, then I would say that kind of thing is okay to say. It is okay to it is okay to express how you feel about someone, whether you don't like them as a person, you don't you don't like the kind of rhetoric they are spreading. You believe that something has to be done about it, but it comes down to two things: either you're actually trying to solve a problem or you're trying to create a dust up. So this is not me starting a beef. This is me just simply reacting to some of the things that are being said. And I've always, in much of my content, um, in much of my content, really put the emphasis on how much scrutiny this space receives, whether warranted or unwarranted. And people are allowed to have their opinions about whatever, whatever floats their boat, whatever tickles their fancy of all these other cheesy sayings out here. But yeah, the fact that this guy mentioned me before, this is not an attempt to clout chase. This is a content creator who has a bigger number in subs than I do. So hey, you know what? It shouldn't matter to someone who has such a gigantic number of subs compared to my 3,800. We trying to get to 4,000, so we inching there, more and more every day. So thank you guys for your continued support. But I'm a strong believer in, if you can dish it out, you can pretty much take it as well. What's good, Pastor? I see you down there. So, tonight's winner. Let me go ahead and show you the Reaction Wednesday. Share this screen. Like I said, nothing personal. Yeah. I'm going to react to one of Man of Tomorrow's streams. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Maybe 20 or 30 minutes on it. And I'm going to actually look for anything they had to say that was legitimate, even though I automatically don't agree with the notion that he's putting forward. I figure, hey, why don't we give people with different points of view a chance? It all depends. I mean, he fancies himself a very intelligent, very successful guy. So, what I'm here to react to is to see if he delivers that in his speech and in his rhetoric. So, like I said, nothing personal. This is just a reaction. That's all. So, let me go commence to playing it. I don't really care about those guys in the chat. Personally, they all chat people in a lot of these chats have so much to say. They have so much to say. And my whole point is, if you are going to blanket the space or anything, think about those who are affected by it. And then we'll go from there. So this guy right here should have no problem being mentioned by anyone for the way he carries on from week to week. His content is his content. whatever good he believes he's doing his subs, that's his content strategy. But he said plenty about the people in this space, so let's see what he has to say. Oh, let me at least say the title first of the stream. He's called this stream the BANO sphere. And that sign that he has means not equal the black manosphere. Parentheses, you should say specifically who you don't like here and why, which is a notion that I myself do agree with. If you don't like someone specifically, call them out. I'm not saying that I don't like this guy right here. Maybe some of the things he says, he has a point. But when the space is always the target, then one or two of us are always going to, we're going to say something back eventually. I would say that. I would also throw in there that this man has made a broadcast with me in the title, with my YouTube tag in the title, which means I did see the broadcast itself. But the reason why I decided not to do that one as a reaction is because it's like 2 hours and some change long. This one is only an hour and some change, and I'm not going to be reacting to it fully. Just want to get the gist of what this man right here is saying. You know, this is a guy that calls himself the president of the Black Manosphere, the president of a virtual space, which, you know, there was no election to. But, you know, if people want to call him the president, then, you know, there's a lot of guys that have titles around here that people are calling them by. And if that's, if it's okay to call yourself a president, it ought to be okay to call yourself that other stuff too. Just saying. So let's listen to what Mr. Man of Tomorrow has to say. For, you know, tomorrow never comes. Think about that. Think about tomorrow never comes. Oh, okay. So anyway. Okay.
Make sure you hit the like button upon coming in.
Fair use, by the way. Like I said, I'm not sticking with this whole thing. Let's see if he says enough of anything with substance in 20 or 30 minutes.
YouTube Studio.
This man said a warlord. All righty. Well, a virtual warlord.
Content.
Still harmless.
Live.
All right. It's taking a while to get it together. That does happen. All right. Let me fast forward a little bit. You know, he's taking a while to get started.
The numbers of principal people.
There he is. Yeah, start talking.
Right after 9/11. Start lowering the standards for the armed forces. You have people who normally would not qualify for the armed forces all of a sudden being able to qualify for it.
All right.
And then there was shock and surprise by the number of individuals that they had among their ranks.
Oh, okay.
It was unsat. I mean, unsat to the point to where you have to lower the actual standard of the entire group to include these other people. Therefore, putting other people at risk because you want to bolster your numbers.
Strength in numbers.
Now, number one, most people think that, oh, well, the space was fine. Like, no, the space was never fine.
Well, there it is.
Because people, like, okay, let's say that you're here. Like, I've been here, it'll be 9 years in January.
All right. Tenure.
There's progression in my content, going from pointing at dating coaches that are actually the problem, start pointing at men that are actually the problem, the lack of progression that is actually a problem, the lack of picking a side that is actually a problem, the lack of organizing that's an actual problem. But not going over these issues over and over again, because that's pretty dumb. At this point, we all know what this system is at this point. Nobody's stupid at this point. You have to understand that you can't just kick in the neighborhoods anymore. There's nobody around to kick it with in the neighborhoods anymore. Like having this failed man discussion, hangout conversation that used to be maligned to outside the liquor store, they brought it online because they had nobody to hang out with. Why? Because if you didn't have your stuff together and the only thing you had to do was get your ish off, nobody really wanted to talk to you. Because it was kind of weird to just hang out with people, whether at an establishment, just in person, and just talk about things that you just not doing.
Like what, MOT? Like what is people talking about that people aren't doing? I do agree that you should present your real self. You shouldn't sit up here and try to pretend and try to fake. Like if you're a cable guy, you shouldn't say that you are signing people to government contracts. So I do agree with you being completely yourself and not bullshitting anyone or pretending that you're something that you're not. But I mean, a person's personal experience as far as who they hang out with and who does what. I mean, that's very, very subjective. So
That is also correct. I seen the same thing when I was in Germany with the Southern Baptist Church. There's a chapter, and it went from saving souls.
okay, CJ has something to say. Let me talk about that comment. It says the black church is currently doing the same thing. Drop the Christian standard to become a mega church, which is a complaint about what black men do when we get a YouTube channel and a StreamYard account. We try to create these mini churches of people who are willing to come and listen to us and give us donations in the form of super chats. I am one that does not believe in telling people what they can or cannot do with their money, which is pretty much a form of hating anyway. Why would you want to stop a man's money, especially a black man? That's kind of stupid. And this usually comes from people, that kind of sentiment comes from people who don't have the ability to get that kind of support up. So, understand this is why people say shit like this, because they can't do it themselves.
To saving hoes.
Oh, here we go.
Just like that. It went from having people play instruments to just playing R&B music before the actual service started. And they did that because they wanted to make it more appealing and more amenable to people. And I'm like, dude, this liberal Christianity shit doesn't work. I mean, there was a reason why they had Abrahamic law and they damn near killed everybody that was part of the faith because they couldn't follow simple directions.
Process of trial and error.
Not hard. But you
Duh.
That you can't really criticize the actual space itself. You can't criticize the space. You can't.
Actually, you can. You can criticize anyone, anything.
Do some progressive type content. That's when you can criticize the space. So you have these people who come over, oh, the manosphere ain't this, the manosphere ain't that. It isn't what it used to be. I'm like, but y'all support all the actual people that destroy the actual concept of the space anyway. Because when they're talking about the black manosphere, they're not talking about my channel. They're not talking about DC Codebreakers. They're not talking about the Black Brain Trust. They're not talking about the wacky world of
By the way, all channels that spend their time mentioning what other men do in the space instead of just proving to everyone that they are the best choices. I mean, they try. I mean, this is nothing against them. Like I said, whatever works for your audience is fine and Jim Dandy by a content creator such as myself. But to repeatedly hit the live button just to complain about other men, the only thing that I've ever tried to say is, how is that shit productive? That is not on some iron sharpens iron shit. You're not helping. None of you are. Period. I mean, this is why I say that it always looks like you do this type of content because hoes are mad. Because there's always the mentions of save Keisha. We're either trying to save Keisha or we're trying to bash Keisha. I mean, you guys don't realize, who are all on whatever side you choose to be, is that so many of your talking points butt heads just because you don't like someone. So let me continue.
They're not talking about the truth as I know it. They're not talking about those people.
Mm.
So how come you just can't have a little bit of substance and just say, okay, I don't like this person for this reason? That way you're not blaming the entire space for something that you have a problem with.
Mm.
Like, if you're tired of the Keisha Complaint Squad, then point out the members of the Keisha Complaint Squad, because everybody don't do that type of content.
He just said we trying to save Keisha. Now we're complaining about Keisha. In the context, I guess, of in order to save Keisha, people have to complain about Keisha in the first place. So, I mean, but I guess if you want to call that helping black men, I'm one that will listen to whatever a black man has to say. And yeah, I've said it myself. I think it's weird to keep talking about the same shit over and over and over and over again. But this is not this man's first time talking about it. I would say it's probably his, I don't know, dozens and dozens of videos, screaming to the top of his lungs that this is the type of content he doesn't like seeing out there. But he does mention some names eventually. So
I avoid that content like the plague, because if I don't want to deal with a certain demographic of women, I just stay the hell away from them. I don't try to go and try to negotiate and do all this other crazy shit. It just don't make any sense. Especially when you have 65-year-old dudes 1 foot in the grave and somehow still worried about where.
everyone has 1 foot in the grave. The day you are born is the day you begin to die. Especially the guys who visually on the outside have cholesterol problems. Let's not make that jump or that leap to judge folks so quickly.
The actual replacement numbers of black people, like, what are you talking about? We're not even doing shit with the actual numbers of people that we have here. But you have to realize, I used to think this was a young person thing, but it's not a young person thing. This whole idea that you're not going to uphold any standards and somehow things are going to get better, I want to see that Venn diagram. I want to see that flow chart. Where that's
What he's talking about is everyone has their version of the productive conversation that he is trying to frame up. Everyone has it. It's just that we're in denial of some people's version of productivity versus other people's idea of productivity. One thing that people like him need to realize is that it's not all about him. It's about him and maybe several billion other people on this planet. So that's one thing that we may need to consider. I mean, that's for myself as well.
stuff actually does get better. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you just can't say, you know what? I don't like Obsidian. You can't say that shit. Why? Your ass is over there watching Obsidian every day. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with Obsidian.
He's mad with people who watch Obsidian.
But at the end of the day, if you have direct complaints about this space, you should take it to the people that you have a direct problem with.
I agree with that.
Okay,
none of the passive aggressive sissy shit. I agree with that.
Great. Take it to Edward. Edward doesn't care. Some crash car shit. But that's where we at. Like, people think that the number of people that misleading insulates them from their overall responsibility. It doesn't.
What is one's responsibility?
This is why you have to separate people from the black manosphere from everybody else. And yes, law enforcement has reached out to me more than a couple of times to talk about this issue and problem.
Okay, number one, Katt.
I proactively went out to them, to talk about this issue that they don't know shit about.
What's the issue? Let me guess.
Like, look, this is what you don't like. I'm the president of the space. This space right here. You have a problem, you come to me. I'm coming to you, you come to me.
Okay, you heard this. This is the content creator that has declared himself the president of the space. So if you have a problem, he has an open door policy. So, I'm sure that he will be warm and welcoming of any of your suggestions, especially from the verbiage that he is sharing with us right now. Or, I'm reacting to. So I'm sharing his verbiage. Y'all get it.
And today, productivity shouldn't even be all that type of a problem. But when you got people who talk about women and all that kind of other stuff, gaslighting these sexless men and giving them some level of relevance, who turn their complaints about a lack of success in real life to just turn it into complaints about women, that's a problem. And I don't think that these people create platforms for that. Is there a way to actually discuss these things? Yeah. But
I'm the kind of guy that if I don't like certain type of content, I just don't watch it. I'm not gonna fly in with a cape, and I know this is where guys like him have probably been called a simp for saying stuff like that, and the word simp does get old. It does, and used out of context quite often. But me personally, I don't give a fuck if y'all talk about women. Everybody talk about everybody. Everybody is subject to criticism. So no one's special in that. So why are motherfuckers, especially motherfuckers who spend time on this very platform around women just to talk about other dudes? Now, that's not making any accusations about this content creator, but you got straight grown men talk, who chooses to use their platform to talk about what problems they have with women, which, when we were younger, when we had something that we wanted to know about women, we go and ask other dudes what they did as far as, it was just always that context. So I wouldn't exactly say how a person uses their content, that there's something wrong with that. But, I don't have an argument with being a productive human being piece either. It's your approach, bro. That's all I'm saying.
At the end of the day, they did not make this actual platform for you to just come up here and run up the quote unquote bag off of sexless men.
People can run the bag off of watching a cat play with a ball of yarn. So, if people choose to support content like that, there's nothing you can say about that. Nothing any of us can. I don't care how egregious the content is. You have a set of community guidelines and standards that are laid out by this platform. As long as you stay inside of those, seriously. But you do have the right to disagree with it, though.
The same people who do all this super chatting are not investing in themselves. Same people who are sitting back learning about blackness are not learning about their local shit that's going on inside their
no, not the super chats. That's the shit I don't roll with. Hey, no super chats.
My time here. Let me tell you. because I don't have any problem with these people outside of the space. Period.
I don't think any of us do.
I believe in disowning people. I believe in throwing people away. I believe in not giving people second chances.
What makes you so special as a fucking person to make people actually believe that, they're supposed to care about some shit like that? I'm gonna disown you. Okay, nigga. I'm gonna go on live my life. No, black men should not put up an appearance like that. Like, there is something to gain that is so great and so valuable, is that if I hear you say that you're going to disown and throw away people, that's supposed to have some type of gravity to it. I feel sorry for people who take this kind of shit seriously. So
I believe in all that shit. I believe in zero tolerance.
So the fuck what?
But they're too stupid to figure out that the people who are actually doing it to them.
That's why he says this stuff for comments like this. Gaslighting sexless men sounds funny and crazy to me. Yeah, whatever. People have difference of opinion.
Ain't really messing with the women that they claim they are anyway.
Oh God, how do these people know this?
Bitch nigga fan fiction at that point, because everybody's getting laid, but everybody got complaints about the same woman, and everybody have all night live streams during the chasing women hours, right? Everybody's doing well with women, but everybody got the same complaints about the same women. Like, the shit doesn't make no sense.
That's a big ass attempt to conflate things around here. Just wanted to throw that out there.
But at the end of the day, they wanted to cover the entire black manosphere with these lost boys, who are created in large numbers.
So we have a problem with viewing audiences. That's what he's saying. If there are 40 people watching him, and there's only 15 people watching me, I should have a problem with it based on the kind of messages he's putting out there, which I don't give a fuck, because I know there's a percentage of stupid people out there. But to sit there and complain about who's watching who, just my thing was, and I told another content creator that says he comes from this whole little 1.0 thing, is that just be that guy. Why are you complaining about other folks? Be that fucking guy.
They're deliberately trying to poison the space.
Oh God. Oh God.
Every time
no one's strong enough.
Black manosphere motherfuckers open their mouth on some black manosphere or the weak shit.
Oh, there it is.
It's always centered around some fucking bullshit complaining about fucking women.
I personally tell people on my Black Manosphere shows of the week to grow some fucking nuts. And, I'm not talking to women when I say that. So, I mean, Black Manosphere show of the week is a good idea. If you are a content creator that, feels as if you can do better content than other motherfuckers, that'll be a time to show it. So, all the content creators that are doing the Black Manosphere show of the week, I commend you guys. My hat's off to you. And if you have a content strategy that draws in an audience, then kudos to you as well. This is the kind of shit that we should be saying. It's not a cult thing. It's not you have to stick to a certain type of content. So that's where this kind of shit feeds the hating sentiment.
Like that bullshit conversation about politics that they had on the Roger Report.
Okay, so why is this big bitch worried about the Roger Report? That's my dog right there. So I just want to put that out there. I mean, worry about your own fucking content, bro. Seriously. I mean, your percentages suck. Worry about that.
This is what I mean, man. Like, bro, blows the fucking mind.
Who cares? People were watching. People were paying up super chats. That makes people mad. I don't get it.
It doesn't really require all this focus and all this control. But then again, this type of complaint has separated people from productive people. That's what it has done. It has separated productive people from unproductive people. And that's always been the fight.
It's productive to continue to talk about black men, broadcast after broadcast, is the message that this guy's content sends. Just go take a look at his channel. If you've been around him long enough, you will know. For myself, being alive for as long as I have, that is not what productive men do.
In this space, they want to drag the conversation back to the woman because they can't participate in society unless they complain.
Man, that's his main complaint right there. That's his main complaint.
Man, that's a female.
Right. I don't do that shit. I don't do that mentality. You know, if you come up here and you say something stupid, if you are at least an adult. Let me talk to Coffee down here. Say, oh shit, he mentioned Roger. It may be personal. Roger put in the work. His platform panels are not who he is. He stand on his brand. Yeah, why niggas got to do that? Instead of worrying about themselves, they worried about other folks. Roger don't say nothing about nobody. And these, like, I learned a long time ago in the workplace that dudes are probably more messy than females. Seriously. And it always be on some jealousy or hate shit. And, you know, based on the level of success that this man tries to, you know, say that he is, like, how does he have time to sit up there and have, you know, all these hate broadcasts? You know, successful people ain't got time to hate. I'll just say that.
All right, so here's the thing, man. If you have your shit together, relations. I walk in with the tangibles and the plan and let them know that I'm already off the market and don't ever bring up their relationship around me for any fucking reason, because you're not going to like the reaction that you're going to get when you do so. Hey, we organize shit and we get their people, I get my people, we come together, we make sure there ain't no relations going on or no fraternizing between this group because it's business relationship.
Here it goes, another attempt to stop heterosexual people from fucking. I'm just saying, bro. I mean, people have tried that. I mean, if you keep your eye on the prize and your eye on the mission yourself and be that guiding light and that big ass inspiration, you should have no problems. But, you know, I'm not the person that comes to these platforms and act like that. I'm just gonna I want to hold somebody's dick for them. That's not me. I'm not gonna dick police. I mean, bro, calm down just a little bit.
You're doing are not really that hard. These things are not that hard.
Then why are we acting like
you're gonna have
is?
to choose from a different inventory that has less wear and tear and damage on them. I'm sorry, women getting accessed by dudes way older than the actual inventory. Just as yes, I've seen it myself.
Oh, that makes an expert.
Was all up in the boomer pile in high school. You know what? I ain't saying nothing about it.
Sure.
Do anything about it. I'm not gonna focus on it. I'm not.
Yeah, I have some screenshots from a Facebook group that would probably debunk all of that. But hey,
concentrate on it. I'm not gonna legislate my life by it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I know what happened. So there ain't no need.
I'm not saying that it is productive and it is a great conversation to have the same conversation over and over and over and over again about problematic women and problematic black women. I can admit myself that it is not a very productive conversation, but if it makes for an interesting conversation at the time based on something like a viral video clip or somebody saying something extremely stupid, then who am I to say that it's a bad idea to talk about it? People can walk and chew gum at the same time, and I'm not one person that treats everybody that comes to these broadcasts or in these audiences like they're stupid. There have been people who are successful that visit these live streams as well, whether you want to believe it or not. So I'm not going to insult people as to make everyone that's watching believe that these men don't have their shit together. I mean, shit, if you're making the content for a certain group of people, make that content for a certain group of people and shut the fuck up about the rest. To repeatedly have broadcasts like this, someone's going to question it sooner or later. And I'm not saying this in defense of particular content creators, because they are grown ass men that know how to respond themselves. But hey, if you keep saying stuff, somebody might just say something about you one day. And that's all I'm saying.
Coming around trying to play this community minded shit and how you give a shit about the outcome of kids, and man, stop this shit.
Oh, here we go.
You pick animalistic tendencies, you get animalistic outcomes. And I don't care. And you're not supposed to care. At the end of the day, you have a responsibility to fix your own stuff, no one else's.
I mean, yeah, that I agree with. You have a responsibility to yourself. If you are allowed to breathe another day, that's an opportunity to work on you. I don't have any problem with that.
Once these people start talking in these possessive pronouns, our women, our people, full of shit, never done anything.
This kind of rhetoric usually comes from niggas that are afraid to be black. I can't ever think in that context because I know what I am, and when it boils down to it, then I'm going to be identified as such. And niggas need to stop acting like cowards and acting like that doesn't apply to them, because it will always apply to them. I don't give a fuck, what they try to do to distance themselves from it. And I'm not saying, use it as a way to make excuses to be an underachiever. All I'm saying is don't be a coward. That's it. These guys said this is a growing space, so redundant conversations will happen. Yeah, what I don't get is people who say that they get tired of we already had that convo. Oh, you new to it. You new to it. Yeah, they're new to it because they're just finding out that all of their programming is piss and shit. And they're blown away by the fact that, oh my God, shit's really like this. This is nothing that I was taught. Tell these motherfuckers the truth and only deal with it one or two times and move on to the next conversation. If you are really that productive as a content creator, then it will resonate with people. So
there's too much money on the table if you actually cared about these people. There's too much nonprofit money on the table. If you actually wanted to set something up in the natural community to actually help broken boys do something, dude, there's too much money out there. And you ain't got to do shit for blacks.
They said do something for boys, but you ain't got to do stuff for blacks. Well, okay, but let me just throw it out there. Is that MOT, while doing an interview with Sister Jordan Concrete Rose, said, fuck them little niggas, fuck black boys. That's his sentiment. Can't be one way one time and then be another way another time when you're in front of people. You have to be consistent around certain folks. So this is the kind of guy that will say fuck black boys, period. I don't care what anyone says. I mean, if he's going to say something like that, then I don't believe you're credible in talking about what other people want to do anyway.
You could go to the trailer park or over there in the Latino area.
No,
you see nearly the same shit because it's the same culture. It just hits a little bit differently, but it's all the same. And
I'm not concerned about other cultures.
Is how they address the problem.
Why are you concerned about other cultures?
The same way that they looked at crackheads one way in the 1980s, but they look at these opioid epidemic people very differently based on who the clientele is. Not really that hard.
Duh. He's mixing in a lot of good stuff with a lot of bullshit.
Just because your numbers are large, just because you're fucking useless, doesn't mean that people are going to care more for you. That's not how that works. You're going to have to provide a service that people actually need.
You're not one to decide
There's too many
that,
people
though.
retiring from nursing.
The
Too
hell
many
they
people not even in who don't even have a CDL. Too many people not even with the HVAC shit. It's too many people needed to be a dental tech. Too many.
Yeah, HVAC. HVAC money is good money. I just hear that though.
There's no reason to be talking about having access to minimum wage jobs. I'm never gonna fight for anything like that. I'm gonna fight for the fact that they're gonna be treated fairly while they're at work. But trying to make sure that you exclusively have rights to minimum wage labor, man, get the fuck out of here with that.
Okay, who
No. You got
who
to set
said
your
that?
sights a little bit higher than that, and you got to participate in the system like everybody else. You got to take a side. You got to read. You got to do research, and you got to know shit. And you got to not present yourself like a damn fool when you go places. Like none of this stuff is really all that hard. But see, a lot of people want to do this stuff their own way when it don't work. I've never heard somebody like play back my live stream unless they're trying to take the shit out of context.
Oh.
You don't have it happen. You want to know why? People don't do analysis. They just present narratives, walk away, present narratives, get their stuff off, move on to something else.
All right, for what I played in this live stream, have you heard anything useful that could help? I mean, I heard, people need to go into HVAC, people need to go get their CDL, maybe, throwing out hints and suggestions. But do y'all believe that this is a productive broadcast that took your life and your logic and your mentality up 2 or 3 notches from what you've heard so far? This is what these people claim to be. That's all I'm saying. I don't have a problem with anyone trying to help or anyone saying anything that makes sense. So. Oh, the uncomfortable silence.
Yeah. But it's a lot of bullshit artists that really made it hard to. That's actually based on something.
Yeah, I would agree with that. A lot of people flooded the tech industry that weren't qualified. So now they've had to tighten the reins as far as their hiring process. Now it's harder for people to get into the industry than it was, because when it was easy, they just accepted any and every one. So, I mean, saying obvious shit with, all the hate and stuff.
12-something years ago when I was in IT, when they was paying like stupid money for just knowing hardware. And that's before the stupid money that they was doing before, software and software testing. There's a lot of BS artists that messed that up for a lot of people. A lot of them. But then you got to loop around and find another way into IT and then come back to the programming piece. Like me, I started with the database shit, and then I just went on to other things, became a project manager.
All right.
Even though that's where I ended up, that's not where I wanted to be. So I wasn't in the field anymore. Happens, moved on to somewhere else, transferred my skills to somewhere else, did very well. You still got to keep going. You can't just say, I can't get in entry level here. Shit, you can get in entry level with something.
I surely would like to see content dealing with how to get into these type of jobs, since he's already had experience.
Not really descriptive about what they don't like about the actual space. There's always the space that need to actually do something for you. It ain't It ain't the fact that you need to do something for space.
I mean, well, what does he do it for the space besides complaining about grown men? And people
Correct.
accept that shit just because he's saying
I
obvious
knew that
stuff.
this day was coming. I knew that day was gonna come. I knew that day was gonna come when people was gonna try to keep Azrael and the day worker their way into these organizations, end up embarrassing the hell out of hiring managers, all that kind of shit, try to give people a chance. And it just came down to the point where they're just gonna start dealing with people who straight up got experience. And that's exactly the way that it went.
Mm. You're always supposed to be prepared for people to pick the best candidate for the job. I mean, that's what at least I was taught.
Both. Most of the companies I worked at, they had a very nice tuition reimbursement system.
These niggas love being comic book characters.
Took advantage of.
Man of Steel, Man of
Tuition
Tomorrow.
reimbursement. None of them. But that's where we at.
The president.
But these people are going to keep trying to sabotage the actual space, and they can only do that because they're here to make money off of these problems. They're not here to solve any of these problems. These problems are too easily solved. And guess what?
That's the money making model for the entire America, ain't it? There's money in the medicine, not the cure. I mean, I can't really point out and saying who's exactly doing that or what was the goals for the space or whatever problem that you guys on that side are looking to solve. What problem are you looking to solve? So people like me will understand your perception or wherever you're coming from as far as what you feel the problems with the space are. Saying a bunch of nothing doesn't help any content creator.
This is not an external problem that needs to be solved. Oh no, most people at Amazon don't even know about free CDL training at Amazon.
Oh man, well, you should let them know, motherfucker. God damn. They don't know. I mean, yeah, tell them. So they can be like, oh, thanks for teaching me something.
And even though it is free and they will teach you how to drive at Amazon, nobody take that shit up. No, don't nobody take up that shit. Dude, that should be offered left and right to these people. Hey, you want to learn how to drive truck?
Okay, so he said nobody knew about it, but it's being offered left and right. So somebody does know about it. I mean, I'm not trying to do this gotcha shit. I'm just saying this is what I'm piecing together from this. That remember, this guy right here is very highly critical of other content creators. So I'm not saying that I'm defending anyone in particular or anything like that. What I'm just saying is if it's good for whoever you're talking about, it's good for everyone else, including himself. I mean, shit, no one is safe from this. Hey, hell, I might even do a reaction on BGS Ibmore stream one day. And I mean, like, it doesn't have to necessarily mean that there's going to be some negative stuff being said either. So, just want to give it this kind of theme or, this kind of feel to this kind of show. So
we can train you. They don't do it. Crazy.
Niggas don't do. I mean, I've been hearing that kind of speech from black folks for the longest. Niggas don't do this. Niggas don't do that.
It's only a
niggas
that you haven't done.
I haven't made $1 million yet. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes, they do.
Eamon Perry, he's pretty cool.
They will offer your ass a training program,
but nobody knows about that though.
Drive for Amazon. They love having their own drops. It's just that don't nobody who works on the line want to get in the truck.
I know something about the distribution side of things, but I don't know enough, so I don't go around making content about it.
FedEx and UPS does the same shit. They always take their package handlers and put them in trucks. I got family who actually work for both. They start off at package handler, and I'm talking about men and women, young and old. And they went from that package handler.
Uh-oh. The Borg. So it gets us sometimes. But for those of you who are listening, you get you a job at Amazon, and get you a license to drive one of their trucks. Thanks for telling us some useful stuff. I told you, I'm gonna look for some useful things that he actually said. I'm not gonna be all critical about it. Seeing what he's saying that actually makes sense. Black Curls, MOT has no qualms name dropping.
Say it again.
Impressive.
Say it again.
I got a grant through Slate for my CDL training.
Like I know the community college of Aurora is teaching classes for like CDL and all that shit. All paid for by the Arapahoe County.
All right. I got a question. Is the Black Manosphere supposed to be an employment agency? Is the Black Manosphere an employment agency? How many people, any of you content creators, how many people actually came to you and said, I need a job? I'm sure a few did. And if you are a content creator that can tell someone how to get a job, kudos. Thanks for helping someone out. I'll be the first one to give you applause. But is it an employment agency? Is it somebody's responsibility on YouTube to make sure that you make it? And the answer is no, because no one is entitled to anything, period. No one. So who cares? like seriously, who the fuck cares? I care if you're actually helping people. I know how to tell the truth about shit like that, but hey, not when you're drinking your own Kool-Aid on a regular basis. Who the fuck cares about that? Let me tell you something. No one cares about our boring ass lives. They only care when we're being dramatic and controversial. Then they really love it when you throw other men under the bus. And I think this guy right here has figured that out. They really think black men are a soft target. So I can only do a few more minutes of this. So let's see if he says anything that, would just ring a bell or get the gold star.
Not that many. But the immigrants show up and then they complain when the immigrants get the fucking jobs. Like, bro, listen.
I really hate niggas when they say shit like that. Just this whole immigrants, Mexicans working jobs we don't want to work, because I see this every day that I drive around and pick up anything. I go to a gas station, I see several Mexicans, and I see a couple of black guys out there just sitting out there looking for work. What is the mentality when we look at the Mexicans? Oh, they're doing what they got to do, and nothing against Mexicans. They're doing what they got to do. But what is the mentality when we look at the black people? Oh, they're about to ask me for something. They selling weed. Shit like that. Get it the fucking together, man. Shit. There are people out there that are black, that are willing to work, that want to make better lives for themselves. And all this little stereotypical ass, oh, these racists want to do this while black folks don't want to do that, man. Cut that bullshit, man. Shit, it's 2024. It's about time we start moving forward past that little buck dance and shit. Always giving other groups props over ourselves.
If you ain't complaining about HB1 visas, man, I don't know what all this immigration talk is about.
Who says this shit?
But you got all this time to be focused on not getting your shit together, though.
Like I said, successful people don't sit around and complaining about people all the time on a live stream. He's a so-called successful person. Shoot, this is what these doofuses do. And there's other content creators that do this as well. It's not just him. I'm successful. I'm this, I'm that. I got this, I got that. So fuck you. Everybody has a right to say fuck you too. Period.
So now we're in crunch time right now.
Oh,
Where the
crunch
people who
time.
are doing the most complaining are the
The
people
end
who haven't
game.
really done anything. And I find that kind of odd.
No, it's not all at all. It's not odd at all. In fact, it's called projection. You know, when people who have the most miserable lives do the most complaining, there's quite a bit of that going on. And it's not exclusive to one archetype. It's a mentality. It's a very toxic mentality. And it's okay to point those mentalities out and tell sensible brothers that might be walking on the train tracks, hey, guy, give your chance to get the fuck off those motherfuckers. You see that mentality right there? Avoid it. Period. If you ask me a question, I'll answer it.
The main people complaining about women just really ain't got their shit together. Period. No way, shape, form, or fashion.
You know, some people who I guess do this complaining about women, they had their shit together, but relationship, marriage didn't work out, and then they lost half their shit. And you know, now they'll be like, well, man, don't be fucking with these bitches. These bitches will fuck you over. And you know what we say to that guy? You should have known better. Get over it. You got caught slipping. Period. We don't give that guy any grace. We don't give that guy any mercy. If you want to vent a little bit, let him vent. It's therapeutic. You know, I'm not saying that complaining is the way, because complaining doesn't produce anything. But, you know, it's just that when I hear men, so-called productive men, talk like this, it seems more like the whole saving Keisha thing. I don't give a damn what anyone talks about for real. For real. I mean, seriously, but I mean, you know, why speak like that? Just seems more to me like you're saving hoes, because hoes are mad. I consider the person that is saying this stuff when I, you know.
They do it all the time, XC. I'm telling you, they do it all the time. So now you have to ask yourself, how come you don't have a viable career field? This is why I don't have entertainers anywhere around me, man. Because entertainers have to cannibalize people in order to keep their shit going.
Oh God,
They
that's
don't
what
mind putting your
entertainers do.
personal business out there, out in the streets for no reason. Because why? To them, it's no content. Screwing over you, that's content. Waiting on you to forgive him, that's content. Going through this whole arc that you don't need to go through, to them, that's content. You can't keep being around people who are not serious about stuff. You got to ask yourself. Don't tell me that you've been here all this time and you got all this manosphere dogma coming out of your mouth and you really ain't leveled up in your real life. Please tell me that that's the case. You know everything about women that you obviously don't want to deal with.
God damn, it's always about the women. You can have 99 conversations about other shit. One conversation about women, and this is all these niggas care about, man. If you want to defend women, and if you feel like you're defending women, that's cool, man. You know, women are physically weaker people than we are. You know, we have to, I guess, protect them to some capacity, but they have to make the choice to be under that protection. You know, all this virtual mumbo jumbo about, you know, what people talk about. I mean, you're never going to stop that. You're never going to stop that. Male and female adults will sit there and talk to each other, talk about each other, talk about their issues with the other. But see, here's the thing. Men need to have the spine to admit that we're in charge, period. Which means that we are more susceptible to any conversation than anyone in this community. So that's what I mean when I say shit like grow some nuts. You know, grow some nuts. You're the buck stops with you, period. You know, be man enough to admit something like that. And once again, if you don't like someone, you don't have to listen to anything they have to say.
But you really ain't got your stuff together?
On YouTube. See, that's why they do it.
Trainers get paid a lot of money.
That's why they do it.
The trainers get paid a lot.
That's why they do it right there. That's why they do it right here. I do have women visiting my channel sometimes, but they visit for genuine reasons. That's why they be saying this stuff about other dudes so they can get that right there. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with having females around. I mean, shit. If he's willing to interact with them, you can't complain about anybody else doing it. It's just, I mean, shit.
A lot of money. Or at least they used to 5 years ago. Yep. Hey, the same thing happened with the post office.
All right.
Don't nobody want to get a CDL?
Uh-oh.
Working at the post office?
A CDL again.
There and they will work at the lowest end job for the rest of their life.
Which is
They
sad.
don't even want $20,000 to $25,000 more dollars to go through a CDL training program. Most of them barely don't even want to work a forklift.
He's saying some useful stuff here.
Again, you got to show some level of progression in this piece if you actually want to stay relevant in society.
Yeah. Got to get a job and make people listen to you. Like truck driver. I mean, I'm not knocking truck drivers. I'm just saying, you know, that's his suggestion. For people to listen to you and have some respect.
They got everything else to comment on and not real shit. But hey, those people want to be played for fool, that's on them. You let them complain about things that don't matter. You let them stay on it. Because they don't start cleaning up this space, man. Law enforcement gonna come in here and gonna start cleaning up.
Oh, here we go. Here go the white man gonna come get the white man gonna come get them niggas for saying words. Come on, white man, help us get them niggas. You know, hopping bob ass niggas once again. Fear mongering. Authorities coming in to arrest people for saying stuff that isn't even that crazy when they got other things to focus on.
Don't understand, man. This shit is straight up racketeering, bro. Like, you can't be running some fake ass operation online under the guise of thinking that you help.
Hey, Pastor, I didn't mean to slight truckers. I'm not job shaming. I don't believe in job shaming. You know, I don't believe in shaming people for what they do for a living. You know, but I mean, if he's saying it like that.
Helping men, shit is called racketeering. You need to understand what the term is, what the definition of the term is.
Oh, big word.
That's a real fucking crime.
Yes, racketeering is a crime.
Fake ass cause. That's a real fucking crime. Especially when you have no education.
So if you get a super chat, is that what he's saying? We're selling false information. So we're committing a crime. Niggas, I swear.
That's a real fucking crime, bro. Seriously. Think about it.
This man looks so happy in his avatar.
The manosphere has done nothing but like awaken more women to how many options that they have, more than the men did. The manosphere actually did that.
I mean, a bucket of smiles.
Gave women exactly what they wanted: more power and infinite access to dick and attention.
No. That was already happening. You know, I'm tired of people thinking that, you know, stuff started only a few years ago. That already happened. Men already gave up their power. Period. You know, if you are a black man, black boy that grew up in the late 70s, 80s, 90s, honestly, 3/4 of everything you were taught to become a man was centered around impressing a woman, to being proven that you're good enough for a woman. So that already happened. The reason why a lot of these people are here is because they're tired of that shit. I don't know what to do. What's causing all these problems? Why don't she respect me? And I'll put it to you very simple and very honestly, probably because you're 5'4", you're loud and angry, and you need to take a bath. There's nothing wrong with telling another man that, as long as it's done with good intentions. So let me stop.
Man, look. I mean, most of that shit is data manipulation at this point. Most of it's data manipulation. It's not no real popularity. The Manosphere actually did that. The Manosphere gave women exactly what they wanted: more power and infinite access.
Western men gave Western women what they wanted. You cannot put that on a virtual space. Just like they put just pearly things on this space. Nah, I don't agree with that at all.
It's the dick and attention.
Well, as long as there's pussy, dick will pay attention to it. Straight dick.
Man, look. I mean, most of that shit.
See, look, this comment encapsulates it all about how niggas just be wanting to hate and want the white man to solve a problem that they actually think exists, as if that's the solution. Remember the commission in the early days of the BANosphere? Won't be funny with those RICO and mob boss charges, LOL. I hope that man ain't being serious. And that's a member. So, that's the kind of person that would be a member of this channel, I would say.
It is data manipulation at this point. Most of it's data manipulation. It's not no real popularity. But at the end of the day, it's the clientele that's the problem, though.
All right, Pastor, I do agree with that. If Pearl had a cute face and had an onion booty, she probably would still be around this space getting interviews from certain folks. But since she looked like the byproduct of a WNBA player, then it didn't fly so much, But I mean, admit, like, if she looked like one of these Insta thoughts that got an OnlyFans account, yeah, she'd have made her rounds around this bitch. But hey, I still have my integrity. I'm not going to empower a white woman in a black man's space, not like the haters. I don't know if that's the same Ronan, but if it is, he's had a lot of choice words to make about guys in this space that they quite frankly don't know. Some of these dudes wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight the way they say things about certain folks. Yeah, I'm so tough. Yeah.
You can't be on here trying to dress up your actual failures as a success piece.
Who's doing that? I mean, he said names. He said that he doesn't mind calling out names.
A lot of people get extremely.
CJ has something to say. Okay, Junior. He said, "Yep, the Manosphere gave women who want to work from home a way to make 6 figures." Yeah. That's like some random guy kicking your dog, and you automatically believe that the Black Manosphere is responsible for that. People say some ignorant fucking shit. They really do.
I'm mad when I say the women should run the red pill because women are actually trying to get their homegirls off the market.
Who said that women should run the red pill?
No one wants to debate the issue.
What's the issue?
Because they're too stupid to fucking debate the fucking issue.
What's the issue?
It's very clear. Women want you to stop complaining about other women, even if they have to give you a woman of suspect quality for you to deal.
Who the fuck should care about what women want? Seriously.
Men are not trying to get you to interact with women in the same pool to where they're at. They're not trying to give you the tips and tricks on what they're actually doing inside of the same marketplace so that way you could be more successful than them. They're not trying to do this shit. When was the last time you seen a lawyer give pointers to another lawyer in a court case?
Well, now
Shit.
No, maybe you're not on the inside of their conversations.
You're on one team.
Their legal level conversations.
It's either you prepare for the actual situation or you're going to get rolled over. That's all it is. It's not that hard. But at the end of the day, the same man who will not invest in themselves.
How does he know?
Bother going to Skillshare or any of these other places where you can pick up skills very cheaply, won't even bother investing in themselves. But they got a lot of shit to get off their chest about women.
Oh, here we go. On and on about the women. The women.
It doesn't make any sense.
The women.
Man, that's a female. Complain about the actual space. There is never no going into detail. There's never no going into detail. And there's never no open dialogue. So let's say that you have all these problems with the quote-unquote space. You don't name drop. You don't pull up on panels. You don't offer any value. You support most, if not all, the people who are a problem.
Like himself.
All these things are the case. And just because you are a black man who's out of pocket doesn't mean that you're fucking manosphere.
Who said that?
How many backward hats idiots who you see in this space? Who's trying to have a second go at high school by just discussing women online?
Oh God, basic ass talking points that he heard some fat broad say the other day on some Beefo Spear channel.
Recapture that whole high school feeling of getting some type of
It
relevance.
always goes back to high school.
And they don't want to stunt.
High school is a measuring stick for all of these so-called successful people. High school is the measuring stick. Where's your brain, guys? President. All right.
But you got to ask yourself, well, whose fault is that?
There's nothing wrong with self-accountability, by the way.
Ooh, the Black Manosphere is a terrorist organization. Man, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, all right. I agree with that.
Man, arguing with feminists, that's a you problem. Everybody ain't got a problem with that. That's a you problem.
Arguing with feminists. See, when you make broadcasts like this and you keep talking about...
I don't think black men need to vent at all. No, sir. Black men need to take some action. Just like every other group of people. This stuff ain't going to fix itself. You got to take action in order for shit to get better.
Yeah.
I don't want these venting ass, know nothing ass dudes around me, man.
Then don't be around them.
These dudes who want to vent, there's no end to venting.
Like he's doing right now, venting about other guys. The irony.
Oh, of course you did.
There's another one. I've been so busy the past few weeks. Once I came back here 2 days, I observed more insanity. SMH. Who are these guys subscribed to? What's in your algorithm? See, this is what I like to call hate watchers. Something I don't do too much of, is like, I know that I might be exuberating some of what people might call hate by saying this stuff. But I mean, the guys had all these times to say this stuff about this space. So there's nothing wrong with one guy coming back to respond. So what's crazy? What's insane for this guy right here? What's insane? Why are you complaining? Why are you not making for a better space? Do you like having your feelings constantly hurt by material that you don't like? What's the problem here? What's the issue? You know, nothing wrong with questions. Wacky. All right.
Yep.
Hope that's working for
These
you.
are the dudes who are in.
Oh, here
these
we
are
go.
like, you know, like the hood dudes who drive around with their rims and shit in front of high school dudes who don't have any money together and shit. That's what they are.
Yeah, the same dudes that picked up the girls that you had the biggest crushes on. So now you're projecting your anger for your own failures in high school on the other people. Oh, they know who they describe them down to the T. Who's exactly fucking the girls that you want to take to the prom? You know, what a harsh reality.
They're the hood dudes who drive around showing off shit in front of people who don't got shit.
I love that hoe, and he drove off with her.
Say it again. That's what professional help is about.
If someone wants to vent, then they should seek professional help. Okay, so when you go to work and you have a bad day, when you have a problematic family member and you just want to express yourself and what's wrong with the situation, like you do on your own YouTube channel, you should seek professional help instead. Okay. Yeah, let me pull about $1,000 out my ass and tell somebody about my work day. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Don't make me go get a receipt, because actually this broadcast is a receipt for MOT. Period. So don't be crying about this later on.
Tell your insecurities and things that you don't like to the wrong type of people. Don't be shocked and surprised if they keep your ass in that circle forever. Why? That's how they got you there.
I'm shocked and surprised that I want to be in a circle. That I choose to be here. What kind of shit is that? Just say be in my circle instead so I can feel special.
Yeah, that too, man. That too.
Yeah, these guys are so, look, a lot of males in this space are trying to live their second childhood on the internet. It's like, see how stupid some of this shit sounds. I mean, you know, this is more along the lines of, those are one of those statements to where that you make that, you know, just in case a female is reading and you have a chance, you feel as if you have a chance to be called a real man for once in your life. They're trying to live their second childhood on the internet.
But this is currently what we are. Like, dude, there ain't nothing wrong with the black man spear.
Oh God, for real?
What
was all that shit?
It's not Kevin Samuels' fault either.
Kevin Samuels is dead.
I know people want to blame him for the reason why the space went that way. Oh, hell no. Those people chose to make that type of content. Those people chose to do that shit. Like he chose to do it. You chose not to have print. That's a choice that you made. You chose to retread the conversation. That's a choice you made. New people coming into the space, they don't mean shit. New people come into the military all the fucking time.
Oh God.
Are they just gonna let you be on that whole shit and that hood shit just because you new to the military? No, you're gonna have to follow the rules and standards that are currently here.
Who has established any rules, any standards, any tenets, or any guidelines for this virtual space that we call the Black Manosphere? I really believe when you come up here and you are a content creator, the merit is based on what kind of man you are already. Not that, you know, you come in here and say, hey, I want to be a part of the Black Manosphere. You know, I got all these opportunities lined up for people who want them. I mean, you stupid niggas with no job and no life, come to me and I'll help you straighten out. Like, this is what a lot of people try to make the goals of the space out to be, when you should not put your responsibility on anybody but yourself. So when people come to this space looking for a certain kind of content, if they're watching people, if they're watching this guy over here more so than they're watching me, then I have to make myself more attractive to those people. You know, I can't get mad and then like if I don't agree with the message, hey, I can do little streams like this. Or, you know, you got the right to respond to people, but hey, you know, people also have the right to criticize and respond to you. I don't think people like this and people who follow this guy actually fucking get that. I believe those people believe that they can say whatever they want about people, and there's supposed to be no response period. You know, there's nothing that's triggering me here. Hell, I can do a broadcast about and react to a certain content creator and, you know, have it be a positive thing. Ask the Roger Report. Someone who obviously has a name in this space that is worth mentioning by other content creators. So Roger really should be proud of something like that. But niggas who throw salt gonna be niggas who throw salt forever. You know, there is no way that you can inspire with that type of rhetoric. I don't care how many people you've helped. I don't care how many books you've read. I don't care how successful you are. Because if anything on social media teaches black men is that we are not entitled to anything based on our success. The main thing is to not treat people like they're stupid coming in. If they got questions, we can answer them. Period. If they got certain topics they want discussed, hey, depends on what you want to do for your subs. Even if it's hatred on guys that are in the space called the Black Manosphere. Now, this guy said he mentioned names, but I haven't really heard him say any names of any problematic content creators during whatever I showed. I mean, he said Azrael and he said Edward Anderson and stuff like that, but he was speaking very generally. And this guy, you actually at the end of it's like 75% he hates everyone, 25% he's saying, you know, stuff that might actually make a little bit of sense. So I never 100% disagree with people, just like I don't 100% agree with someone. I think something is wrong with doing both. I believe people that deserve the opportunity to be heard. And, you know, they also deserve the opportunity for you to tell them that you're also listening. So this is just my reaction to this stream. The link is in the chat. The link is in the comment section in the description below. Leave a comment. If MOT wants to leave a comment. My suggestion is that he unblocks me on YouTube so I can reply to the comment, because he made a comment on my other video directed toward Andre 416 reform. So if you're still in the building, Andre, go to the Smoke Show Sunday that just went past, and MOT has a comment directed toward you. So I figured that out, but I couldn't respond to the comment because he has me blocked on YouTube. I guess a long time ago, I said something that really affected him, so he blocked me. So that's just what it is. And he's actually told somebody that I blocked him, which is untrue, because I don't block people on YouTube. I mean, unless they're just some crazy ass fucking person that wants to get your channel taken down. But I mean, yeah. So anybody can respond. If people don't like what I said, then, you know, you can feel free to put that in the comment section as well. You could have participated in real time, but not many people knew about this broadcast before my broadcast tonight. This is just the first of many reaction shows to come. No content creator is safe. from this. They're not safe. But don't always look for it to have some type of negativity to it. Okay. Like I said, I have no problem if you are actually a benefit to black men. But if you're gonna go along with these diatribes, which he's done this a countless number of times, then hey, someone's gonna say something sooner or later. So feel free to come by at any time to discuss whatever your problems are, man, and tomorrow, and all of those other little magpies that run with you and decide that they want to make judgments on a bunch of people that they don't even know. And many of those guys wouldn't say that shit to someone in the street anyway. Seriously, I understand people, if anything. So anyway, let me stop sharing the screen. For those of you who have to endure that like I did, thank you for seeing it through. So let me go to some of these comments. Yeah, I did try to respond as much as I could, but he said, that is why I have even stated in my content, it was never against the black manosphere as a whole, but again, the causation and not being able to identify the problems that bring the space down. Well, MOT, YouTube is a whole university of learning. Some people that are not good teachers, and that is okay. They may not even care. It's not their responsibility. I get it. You can't make people do nothing. Yeah. If you have gathered anything positive from any of the content that I have done on this channel in the past, I am not going to argue with you about it. If you don't feel like this content has any value, I can't do anything about that either. People are different and we have to accept that. What are you going to do? Let it drive you crazy? I'm okay with the venting. Yeah, I'm okay with venting too. I'm okay with having to I'm not okay with having to come out of pocket with talking to someone who is completely ineffective. Leave some room for the new dudes who have these problems, and more to come. Venting is needed. Variety is needed. If you think that you are the only person that matters, then of course that logic is going to go toward you shouldn't vent, you shouldn't say shit, you shouldn't do anything. And I do understand also is that by controlling yourself, then that is a form of, displaying strength. I mean, but also displaying strength is standing on your square 10 toes down and pushing what you believe, especially if it makes sense, and you shouldn't let anyone get in your way of that. And this is my reaction to MOT stream. I don't think he's very understanding of people in general. I think that he is one that sees things his way and his way alone. And if it's not working out too well, you can tell by the way he approaches how he makes content. No one is stopping him from doing shit. No one is stopping him from accomplishing his goals, just like any of you out there that are listening. So if you're going to say things about people, then people have the right to respond. I cannot emphasize that enough. So let me check out some of these. Comments, and then I think I'm gonna go ahead and say I think I am more concerned with why you said what you said than to shut you up so I can understand you, rather than you shouldn't have said it. You take yourself wherever you go. You are you. Absolutely. What's up, Cozy Corner? Indigo Flow, what's going on? BGS it more, of course. I mean, BGS will have the right to think that way, of course, because he's had his issues with this guy in the past. But hey, you know what? Like I said, my door is open, especially with the Smoke Show Sundays, which the Baconator has also stated that is a bad idea too, because it's quote unquote not helping black men or whatever. And let's just face it, like I would say Western culture doesn't give a shit about helping black men. So using that as a virtue signal constantly just to gaslight men into shutting up, man, that's just disingenuous. And people should call this shit out, man. You know, a lot of you motherfuckers that's in here that's talking about, oh, I'm here to help and I'm here to for some solutions. You're not being serious about that. Not at all. So I mean, you know, argue with you, mammy. You know, this is not up for debate. I've been around for too long, you know, generally dealing with people. I understand. So anyway, I think I'm gonna go ahead and put the brakes on this. Wanted to do my first reaction Wednesday, which is really my second reaction Wednesday. And I'm telling you, no content creator is safe. Whether I agree with you or whether I don't agree with you. If I feel as if that, you know, someone needs to respond to the things that you say, then hey, I'm going to be the one to take that responsibility amongst myself. It's not meant to cause a beef, but hey, you can beef with me about it if you want to. You know, there's plenty of people that have called me some unsavory things that I don't agree with, but I understand that's life. So has been a reaction Wednesday. I will be back next Wednesday, and I wonder what content creator I will be reacted to next. So anyway, this is Kev. This is BMBBH, Black Men Media all day. Long live the habitual line steppers. In Kev we trust. And when you don't give up, you shall definitely win. So let's cue the lo-fi. Peace.